There is a particular kind of trust we place in an AI chat. It feels less like publishing and more like thinking out loud in a quiet room. We paste the awkward draft, the half-formed strategy, the customer complaint, the code that is not ready, sometimes the resignation letter we have not sent. Then the answer is useful. So we click share and send a link to one person. This week, some Claude users learned that a link intended as a private handoff had become searchable on Google. The chats were private by default. Users had deliberately created public links. But those are two very different ideas in most people's heads. Anyone with the link and anyone searching the web. The gap between them is where privacy failures live. Axios reported that shared Claude conversations and artifacts, including apps, documents, spreadsheets, and web pages, appeared in Google results. Anthropic said it does not provide search engines with chat directories or sitemaps. That distinction matters. This was not Claude randomly publishing every private conversation. It was public share pages being treated like public pages by the web around them. Anthropic's own privacy guide says that when you share a chat publicly, the conversation and Claude's responses are visible to anyone with the link. Attached files are not included in the shared snapshot. You can disable the direct link by changing the chat from public to private. Those details are reassuring, but they also reveal the real problem. Link sharing is an access control decision, even when the interface makes it feel like a forwarding shortcut. For introverts, this matters more than it might sound. AI is often where we rehearse before we communicate. We use it to turn messy internal thought into something calm enough to send. That private rehearsal can contain far more than the final output. It can contain names, doubts, alternatives, emotional context, rejected phrasing, confidential numbers, and the blunt version of what we actually think. A shared artifact may be harmless. The conversation that produced it may not be. If you are trying to avoid another meeting, sharing the chat feels efficient. But efficiency can quietly collapse the boundary between the answer and the thinking trail. The first rule of a quiet AI workflow is simple. The thing you deliver and the room where you made it should not automatically be the same object. Here is the 5-minute audit. In Claude, open Settings, choose Privacy, then open Shared Chats. Review the list as if it were a small public website you forgot you owned. Do not only scan titles. Open each shared item and ask 4 questions. Does it contain a real person's name? Does it reveal internal plans, money, health, legal strategy, credentials, or code? Would the context embarrass or disadvantage someone if it traveled beyond the intended recipient? Is the recipient still supposed to have access? If the answer is yes, maybe, or I do not remember, change the item from public to private. Revoking a link does not require a debate. Privacy is one of the rare places where unnecessary caution is often cheaper than cleverness. Then check the search layer without turning other people's exposure into entertainment. Search only for your own known titles, project names, domains, or distinctive phrases. You are looking for your material, not browsing strangers' conversations. Remember that search results can lag. A page may disappear from Google, while a direct public link still works. And a revoked page may take time to vanish from caches. The account's shared chats list is the source of truth for what you control. The search check is only a second signal. If you find something sensitive, revoke the share first. Then remove or rotate anything that behaves like a secret. API keys, passwords, private tokens, unreleased links, or credentials. De-indexing is not incident response. Once a secret has been public, treat it as used. The better habit starts before you click share. Use an output-only workflow. Ask the AI to create a clean deliverable that contains only what the recipient needs. A memo, table, checklist, code patch, or final draft. Copy that into a fresh document, export it, or create a new chat with the sensitive context removed. Read it once from the recipient's perspective. Then share the smaller object. This sounds less convenient than sending the whole conversation, but it is usually more respectful and easier to understand. Nobody needs 40 turns of your debugging, hesitation, and discarded ideas to use the result. The clean handoff also makes you look clearer without forcing you to perform clarity in real time. Quiet work stays quiet. The finished signal travels. Add a 3-level classification system so you do not make the privacy decision from scratch every time. Green means safe to publish. Public facts, generic examples, and material you would place on a website. Amber means link only after review. Internal drafts, customer context, working documents, and anything with names or business details. Red means never share as a public AI link. Credentials, health information, legal advice, private financial data. Unreleased strategy, source code with secrets, or someone else's personal story. Put those labels in your own checklist, not in a policy nobody reads. Before sharing, ask one sentence. If this link appeared in search tomorrow, would I still send it? If the answer changes, the permission should change too. There are still limits to this system. Removing a share link cannot make someone forget what they already copied. Search engines, browser histories, messaging previews, and archives can outlive the page that created them. Team and enterprise environments may restrict sharing to members of the same organization, but you should verify the behavior of the account you actually use. And the product interface bears responsibility here. Anyone with the link sounds narrower than publicly reachable, even when those phrases can describe the same URL. Companies should make discoverability explicit, prevent indexing by default, and show a durable inventory of every shared item. Users need control, but good privacy should not depend on every tired person understanding search engine mechanics. My verdict is, not stop sharing AI work. Sharing is useful. The verdict is, stop sharing the workshop when you only mean to share the chair. Audit your existing links. Revoke the ones that carry more context than value. Rotate any exposed secrets, and make future handoffs output only. The introvert advantage of AI is that it gives us a private place to think before we speak. Protecting that room is part of the workflow, not an optional security hobby. You do not have to become paranoid, and you do not need another meeting about it. You need one small exit check before the link leaves your hands. Correct recipient, minimum context, right permission, no secrets. That pause improves the work itself. It forces you to name the deliverable, remove irrelevant context, and decide who needs access. The result is shorter, safer, and more useful. Privacy discipline is not friction added after creation. It is editing with the audience visible, before a click makes the audience larger than intended. Quiet work deserves a quiet door, not a sign that says probably private.